Hello, everybody. It is March the 28th, 2021, right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel. Hello, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Weather can't make up its goddamn mind if it wants to be cold or warm, sunny or thunderstorming. It doesn't matter. That is typical North Carolina weather for you, but that's how it is over here. Hi, I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist? No, I'm a veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and the co-host of Wrestleview Live alongside the effervescent editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, Mike Tedesco, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views immediately following them right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel. Oh boy, lots of news and stuff, and are you guys prepared for what's coming in a couple of weeks? I don't know if I am, but yeah, so WrestleMania week is slowly inching up to our doorstep. And, you know, arguments have been in the past that I know that the previous editor-in-chief, Adam Martin, would have with myself. God, Doug, there's so much wrestling. God, I can't stand it. It's like, and my argument would be, yeah, heaven forbid we have so much ice cream, you know, geez, I don't know if I can enjoy all of this stuff that I really like. But brain freeze can be a bitch. And this coming WrestleMania week is daunting, okay? And so after looking at what the schedule for WrestleMania week is going to be like in a couple of weeks, I was asking myself, how did we come to this? How did it get to this point? How did we get from when I was young, just inviting a bunch of friends over to watch WrestleMania on a Sunday? How did it go from just a Sunday to an entire week, and not just here at my abode? How did it end up turning into a week at one location? A week's worth of WWE in one location. How did it end up like this? How did we get this way? So I did some research, went to the Wayback Machine, and kind of sussed out, you know, where all of this began. Where this notion of WrestleMania being longer than just a one-night event happened, and it happened way further back than you may think. This isn't a recent thing, and you'd be surprised on where it started. And I apologize in advance who I will be referencing on where this all began. So, but yeah, I figured we'd go and learn a little bit, you know, and try to figure out how in the hell we got here to where it's now a WrestleMania week. But apart from that, it's going to be the usual top 5 things that I think you should pay attention to from the WWE. Things that are really stupid, but also pretty decent matches. Lots of stuff to go over on the news today. A health scare involving one of the producers with the WWE, with the headlines, along with confirmations of departures, confirmations of signings, and lots of weird stuff happening on Peacock now that the WWE Network is on it. So we're going to talk about that. The WWE milk carton is alive and well, always will be, even when Peyton Royce gets off the milk carton. Many others soon follow her. So that's what's on the docket today, along with the trip in the Wayback Machine. So yeah, that's what we got on the docket now. But before we do that, we got to get the pleasantries out of the way first. If you're in the chat room now, you say, wee. If you're not in the chat room, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. Who all is in the chat room? I saw Jamel. I saw Quentin and Andrew getting their kicks in there before Jamel the mod got in there. Who else? Yeah, Quentin, you're off the milk carton. Wee. I saw Gills. I see. Who else is in there? Come on, make your presence be known. You know you want to be known right now. Yeah, there's Jamel. There's Mediocre Lewis. Wee! Who else is? Come on. I know there's more of you in there. You can't be that embarrassed to let yourselves be known. Come on now. Also, Oh, also other news that I'll be bringing to you, programming notes for this show, and also future shows that are going to be happening during this incredible WrestleMania week that's happening in a couple of weeks. Mushroom saying we. Who else? I'll get to you when we get to you. So that's what's on the docket today. Fastlane was last Sunday. Only 3 matches were on the card when I was making the predictions for them. Unfortunately, got one of them wrong. I think that was, I had Apollo Crews winning. Becoming the new Intercontinental Champion, and that didn't happen. Quentin, I make you happy? Well, Quentin, you make me happy. You know, Daniel's in the chat room. He goes, wee! Can't do that many E's, though, Daniel. So I got one prediction wrong from Fastlane, and that was Big E retaining the title. So that means we got to take we got to assume the position. Doug, what the hell are you talking about? Well, you know, on this program, and much like many other wrestling podcasts, they make predictions about the pay-per-views, predicting the matches and stuff. This podcast is no different, except when I feel confident in my prediction, I will lock said prediction. And when that locked prediction fails to come to fruition, we take a shot of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. So that's one. That's one from Fastlane, and I have way too much integrity. I still owe one shot from Royal Rumble. So I haven't updated my pay-per-view record on here yet, so it's still small. I think I'm like, 4-3 right now, but those numbers are going to be skyrocketing here with WrestleMania week. So, we're going to take 2 to clear the slate. No IOU. So here we go. Break out the Cleveland Indians double shot glass, because next Thursday is this Thursday's opening day. Opening day of the baseballs is Thursday. Oh, God, I can't wait. 1 o'clock is when my tribe is on the air. I'll be in the office. Gonna put that bad boy on. Oh, can't wait. Oh, wait a minute. Before I take the shot, hold on, I forgot. What are the sources? Sources that we're having today is really a go-to. Is a really go-to beer of mine. Yeah, shoot, I forgot. Every professional wrestling news site, sources, they cite their sources and blah, 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 and they're always wrong. Wrestleview, we double and triple check our sources to make sure that your news is fresh and never hot filtered. Ours is cold filtered. So, but this show, our sources are the best. And today's sources is a go-to of mine from Highland Brewing out of Asheville, North Carolina. It's their Gaelic Ale. This is one of, I'm going to say here in North Carolina, there are certain go-to beers that a lot of people enjoy when it comes to the craft beers of North Carolina. Hop, Drop, and Roll from Noda is one. Red Oak, just Red Oak beer from Red Oak Brewery. And then there is Gaelic Ale from Highland Brewing, and it is fantastic. Here's the descriptor here. I've just got it on the website here. Our original brew is deep amber-colored American ale, featuring a rich malty body. Gaelic is exceptionally balanced between malty sweetness and delicate hop bitterness, making it a clear winner with a broad range of food pairings. This is a very light beer. It's a 5.5. By our standards, it's light, 5.5. We're going to need this chasing the 2 shots. So get your church key and crack it open. There we go. Cleveland Browns church key, because Cleveland fan, you're required to drink. Pouring into the Horn of Triumph is what we're going to be drinking from today. So, and the great thing about this is with this curve here, I just have to pour there, and it's just a smooth pour. It doesn't foam or anything. Doesn't foam over. Doug, would I lie to you? No, I wouldn't. No foam whatsoever. God, this is a great mug. Okay, there we go. Set to the side. Drinking from the Gaelic Ale. Yeah, very smooth. Oh, nice, good red ale. Very good red ale. Okay, now let's take our punishment. All right, here we go. Jamel, also, we were so close to getting Walter versus Timmy Thatcher, but Walter's got tomato chomper. Should be fun. Oh, we're going to talk about that. Oh, boy. Oh, we going to talk about that. Oh, for sure. Shot glass up. Pour it in there. Here we go. And we'll go ahead and say I was kind of prepping for today's show. Earlier today, I had me some nice Larceny bourbon on the rocks. But that was a good 5 hours ago. Day drinking is always fun on a weekend. Okay. 5.5 on that ABV machine is what that beer is. We need it light for this one. All right, we're clearing the slate. We're clearing the slate. No more IOU. Here it is. It's been a while since I've had some tequila. Oh, God, I hate this. But anyway, we just get it over with. Get it over with. All right, here we go. All right, you guys know the drill. Here it is. Here it is, and the motto that I always say when I do this wacky shit and not spill it everywhere. Here's to me not knowing shit about professional wrestling. Oh, God. Spit's coming up. God. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Thank God for Gaelic Ale. All right. All right. On to the top 5 things that you should pay attention to from the Double E's. A couple of them were on the WWE Network, but is now Peacock. I'm wondering how this is going to go. But a couple of things that were not on TV, but some things you should definitely check out. All right, now look. We need to face some facts here, okay? I guess I need to face some facts, okay? I get it that AJ Styles right now, and let me see if I can bring up some numbers here on AJ Styles. How old is AJ right now? I think he's 44? He's either 43 or 44 years old. Cat's been in the business for 20 to 25 years. And I will fully admit, when it comes to the history of AJ Styles, the only history of AJ Styles I know, maybe a few matches from TNA, but I never really held them in a high regard. And I guess most of my knowledge of AJ Styles comes from when he's been with the WWE. You know, it's the go-to, you know? It's like when you guys yell at me about I always use craft beers and you guys never have any, but then when I get into a national beer that you guys have had, we all get on the same page. That's kind of the same way with me and AJ Styles. There are a lot of people that will sing the praises of AJ Styles to the high heavens, regardless of anything he does. Okay, I don't know of any of the stuff he's done in New Japan. That's for damn sure. But ever since he's come to the WWE and had those sensational matches with John Cena, he is... I'm sorry, I keep looking at the GIF and he gets distracted from Xavier Woods playing his TNA theme on the trombone. AJ Styles, to me, there are certain quintessential professional wrestlers. Daniel Bryan was one that Mike and I brought up on the Fastlane post show last week. AJ Styles is another one. Okay. Sure, his promo work is okay, but for the character he has right now, it's fantastic. The guy, he's great in the ring. He doesn't oversell. He doesn't no sell. He sells great. His move set and everything he does in the ring is not far-fetched. It is simple to follow. And frankly, is probably one of the most palatable professional wrestlers out there. And what I mean palatable is anyone can watch him and know that he's a professional wrestler. I say this because last week I stopped by my parents' house last Wednesday. No, it was Wednesday for St. Patty's Day. And yeah, last Wednesday. And he and we sat down, and he doesn't watch as much of the professional wrestling now as he used to. And so whenever I visit and there is wrestling on TV, he will turn it on and want me to sell him on what's happening. You know, he wants me to tell him what's happening right now in the world of wrestling. There's so many new characters out there. He doesn't know who the hell they are. And so I try to sell him a little bit and mentioned to him that AJ Styles was still with the WWE. And he kind of went, what's an AJ Styles? Because he's never watched him, you know? So, but then I referred him to the work that he's been doing right now with having this giant of a man Omos at his side, and loves it. He just loves it. I think also that day he and we were watching an episode of NXT was what it was. And I sold him on Robert Stone, shown him Walter. He saw Walter for the first time and heard one of his chops for the first time. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, his reaction was the same as mine. Oh, man. It was when Tomato Chomper was in the ring. He finished his match with Marcel Bartel. And then, you know, the lights went out, and then the Dvorak Symphony came up. And I was like, oh, Dad, you're going to love this. Watch this. He was like, oh, what is that? He was thinking of the music. He's like, ooh, what is that? That's nice. And then suddenly the white X pops up and the silhouette of Walter. And my father was like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. And then he'd see him walking down to the ring. We'll talk more about Walter in a little bit, but it's distracting me from the talk about AJ Styles, to where some people still don't really know who AJ Styles is. But I can tell you this match he had with Kofi Kingston was a fun one. There is just something right now. AJ Styles cannot have a bad match. Okay, these were the kind of arguments that were made about Chris Jericho 5, 6, 7 years ago, how he could wrestle a broom and it'll be a fun match. Well, not necessarily anymore. AJ Styles, I'm convinced, though, could have a great match with anyone. He can make anyone look good. AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston was a great match last Monday. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Really fun one. Really, really fun one. Other fun. And I don't give a damn what you think, okay? I don't give a damn what you think. Fuck your shit, fun things are fun, has always been my motto, one of my mottos. I love the pairing of Reginald and Nia Jax. This is their post-match where Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeated Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. And her twirling and dancing with Reginald and just treating Reginald like the boy toy that he is. I love this. This is fantastic. I don't know if you guys were on the Twitter. I put up a tweet a while back saying the 5 things that I enjoy in professional wrestling. Foreigner heels is the big one. Number 1 is foreigner heels. But one of them is a strong female that dominates both physically, emotionally, and psychologically a male. There's just something about that dynamic that I love. That's why I loved Rusev. One of the reasons I loved Rusev when he came in was because Lana was his handler. That's what made that character so good. He would not let go of the accolade until Lana told him to. That's why when Trish Stratus first debuted, I loved her character with, Test and Albert. Not because, she was a hot chick and oh my gods, but she was the dominating one of the group. The men did what she told them to do. I don't know. Maybe it's something personal. I don't know. But it's really, I love this. I don't care what anyone says, okay? I love stuff like this. I love it when the gender roles are flipped. Especially, that's why I love the Robert Stone gimmick so much, in that he gets beat up by females all the time. I don't know. Jamel bringing up Santino and Beth Phoenix. I don't know about Santino and Beth Phoenix. That one didn't really click with me, just because the male-female dynamic has got to be incredibly unparalleled. Okay. And what I mean by that is and you also bring up Eddie Guerrero, China. I wasn't a fan of that either. Selena Vega, Andrade. No, not a fan of that either. I just love a big female dominating a smaller male, or a smaller female dominating a bigger male, is what I see. Santino, Beth Phoenix, I didn't really see any larger, smaller domination. Eddie Guerrero, China, same thing. They were both kind of the same size, So that's, I think I need to see a psychotherapist about this. I think I need to see someone about this. I think I have a problem. I think I've got a problem. And I'm sure probably Deanna's overheard me and she's just nodding her head and, yep, that's what he likes. Third tweet. Let's get into some actual wrestling here. Twitter imploded on itself last week. Twitter imploded on itself when LA Knight, or previously known as Eli Drake from TNA or Impact, or from what I know him from, NWA Power, which is going to be returning. LA Knight losing his second match in NXT against Bronson Reed. Everyone had a cow. Everyone lost their shit. Oh my God, they're shitting on him. Oh, they buried him. Oh. Really? Are we really burying this guy already? 2 matches in and only 4 weeks into the buildup of his character? No, absolutely not. In fact, he already does something that no other character or any other performer has ever done with NXT. This guy gets mic time. Lots of mic time. He leaves his locker room and he's talking to the camera the entire time as he's making his way to the gorilla position. He's done that with both matches that he's had. Every single time he's on camera, he is talking up a storm. He does it so well. I mean, why would anyone think that this guy is in the gutter? Not at all. This guy's got places to go, okay? And I love that name, LA Knight. I know a lot of people complaining about that. I love it. God, it is so late 80s, early 90s, flashy, pretty boy. I'm expecting him to come out with the theme song to Miami Vice or Magnum PI or something like that, man. I mean, Eli Drake, LA Knight, he's going to go places. Okay, I see a lot in store for him. His match with Bronson Reed was okay. Reed is not looking good right now. I expect him to appear on the milk carton in the next few weeks or so. He's not going to be on, I don't think he'll be on TV for the next 6 weeks. Doug, what are you saying? Well, no, he's going to be in the gauntlet match that's coming up, but I can't lock that. I can't lock it, though I would love to, but Bronson Reed has not been looking good. His past few matches have not been good. They're looking at maybe this is the second repackaging of him. LA Knight, though, this is going to be interesting. I don't know what the next program could be that you put him in. I would love to see him against Kushida. I think him and Kushida would make a great program to start off in NXT. A good, long, drawn-out program to start things off. Another one for LA Knight, being the boisterous heel that he is, he could team up a great tag team with Cameron Grimes. That would be great. Him against Roderick Strong. And then I would culminate him in a program. Well, not a program. I'd probably put him in a clusterfuck triple threat or fatal four-way for the North American title. And right now, the great thing about NXT is there's no such thing as their faces or heels. So you could put him in a program with Johnny Gargano. Who knows? But I think the sky's the limit with LA Knight. Check out 2 weeks ago, his match against Gray. Can't remember his first name. Don't want to say it's Justin Gray or something like that. But watch his debut match and then compare it to this match he had with Bronson Reed. It is apples to oranges, and you'll see it's more on the person he's with than it is him. So thought I'd just kind of put that one out there. You know, I pay attention to the young guys. Now, on to stuff that happened on another program that's not on television. Over on NXT UK. The rematch between Ilya Dragunov versus Sam Gradwell. This was and first off, this was a no DQ match. So we got chairs, we got kendo sticks, we've got everything. We've got some bloody lips. This match, is hard on the eyes. Okay, there are some spots and bumps in this match that will make you cringe. Way more than whatever the hell happened at AEW's Revolution or whatever the fuck that was. All right, this was a really brutal match. I implore you, watch this. And this is going on the furthering of the unhinged and the unraveling of the Dragunov character. Thing is, he's just, man, his facial expressions are really hard to try to get used to. He grimaces a lot. And that's something I wish he could get over a little bit. But, man, this match was gruesome. I mean, really gruesome. Could I see either of these guys coming stateside? Not really. Ilya Dragunov is staying overseas. There's no way he's going to come over to stateside. He is not palatable here at the States. But, all right. Final thing to pay attention. Kevin asking over Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa. I don't want to get into that match. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, there's a reason why I'm not showing that. Okay? Bloodletting for the sake of bloodletting is the definition of a garbage match. Okay? Everyone having a cow over Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa. Look, I am not putting down... Yes, I am. It sucked. Don't care what anyone says. I know garbage match when I see one. There was no build to it at all. No weekly build to have this match at all. They just did it for the sake of doing it. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa was your typical New Jack ECW match. Oh, God, and the pacing was atrocious. I don't know what. Look, I've seen Thunder Rosa have some great matches in NWA. She has had some great matches, but I don't know what it is when she's in an AEW ring. It stinks. Oh, she's. Ugh. In fact, all of the women in AEW right now is not good. I'm not a fan of it. So seriously, I will take this match of Sam Gradwell, Ilya Dragunov over anything hardcore that AEW has done in the past 6 months. Anything at all. Period. But the only thing that you need to pay attention to from last week's television is that the thunderclap from the heavens. Walter. This is the second week in a row he has stayed stateside. He had a match against Drake Maverick that lasted a good hot minute. Powerbombed his ass. Won the match. And Tomato Chomper trying to get in the ring. He says that he's intrigued by the NXT UK title, and he gets a chop for his efforts. He gets his little dog tag cross thingy yanked from his neck. Showed this to my dad, and he heard that chop. My dad loves Walter chops now. It's just like me. I love Walter chops. And so what we're getting at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1? Is it night 1 or night 2? I think it's night 1. We are getting Walter defending the NXT UK title against Tomato Chomper. My mind is racing right now. I want to believe, and I want to believe Walter's words, that he says that he will never come to stateside, that he will only work in Europe. And I firmly, and I've got to wipe off my glasses here, Jesus. I've got to firmly believe that. I believe Walter when he says that he would never come here to work permanently stateside. He would stay in Europe. Totally believe it. Because he's rarely worked stateside. And when he has, it's really been for nickels and dimes, you know? But much like Ted DiBiase says, everyone's got a price. And I wonder if they found the price for Walter. I pray that it's right, but I've got a feeling it isn't. I think what we're going to be seeing, oh God. One of two things are going to happen here. First, I've got to be realistic. What's realistically happening here is Walter and Tomato Chomper have their match for the NXT UK title. Timothy Thatcher's going to be at ringside for Tomato Chomper. He butts in. Walter retains, heads back over to Europe, and we get our program of Chomper and Thatcher. Sans Imperium. Just those two. Or Tomato Chomper becomes NXT UK champion, makes his way to Europe, and now all of Imperium. Alexander Wolf part of it? Probably not, but Timothy Thatcher might be. All of Imperium in NXT. If all of Imperium are in NXT, you thought Undisputed Era's reign in NXT was something? I'm telling you, they are going to be a 4-year act on NXT. It'll be nothing but Imperium. But that's my idealism. Realistic me is thinking, nah, Walter's going to head on back, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I like the idea of Walter being a special attraction where he only comes stateside once or twice a year, where he's going to defend the NXT UK title at, say, SummerSlam or Royal Rumble. or he's a surprise entrant into the Royal Rumble. That's what I was praying for this year. But this is fine. I got no problem with this match. This is the one match I'm looking forward to the most. Of course I am. It's freaking Walter. And those of you who are just going, Doug, what is your hard-on with Walter? Well, before Wrestleview Weekly came to YouTube, we used to be on Twitch. And on Twitch, we could watch wrestling matches and not have the YouTube Gestapo go after us. And so I was investigating Dark Overlord Dave Meltzer's 5-star matches, and I saw some of them showing the name Walter. Never heard of him. Never saw any of his matches. And so we watched a few of them on Wrestleview Weekly blindly. For the first time, ooh, I think the first matches I saw, it was Walter versus Zack Sabre Jr. Chopped that guy into next week. And then I think we watched, what was another one we saw? Was it him and, that fuck, Will Ospreay? Yeah, we watched that one too. That made me feel great. So that's why Walter is probably the only performer that I do mark out for. I legitimately mark out for Walter. I'll admit it. I will admit it. Mediocre Lewis, Walter versus Miro in AEW one day. Nah, stop it. Nope. Miro is far from my radar now. Miro fucking sucks. I'm sorry. At first, I thought Rusev / Miro was good, but now I'm realizing that he's been off of his Adderall prescription now for the past 3 years. No, not a fan. He was great as Rusev, and that thing was going great, but man, something happened. I don't know what happened. Something happened, and I think it's more on his side than anything else. Now, don't get me wrong, Daniel. I'd love to see early Rusev versus Walter, but that's just... But there's no program I can build from that. There's no story I can build from that. Right now, I can build anything involving Walter and Imperium. I can build anything involving Walter and Imperium anywhere on Stateside's roster. Anywhere. God, I would love them to be Stateside, but it probably won't happen. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Did I ever like Rusev Day? I thought it was cute. I thought Rusev Day was cute. I did like it. Then they split it up, and when they split that up, that told me that something is wrong. They are not digging Rusev. Something happened backstage. Something happened internally with Miro. Something happened. I don't know what. And it will never be seen. You can't spot it on TV. He was doing good work in the ring. There was nothing wrong with his ring work. It was something that we don't know about. And I am not going to speculate on what it could have been. I have no idea what could have been. I can speculate Andrade, why they let him go. And why they weren't working him. That's simple. That's plain to see. Rusev, I don't know. And that's okay. I got Rusev in a tank in my memory bank, and that's all I need. Wow, damn, I'm a poet and didn't realize it. All right. So those are the things to pay attention to. God, thunderclap from the heavens. Oh, God. And I love Nigel McGuinness's reactions to those when he had that match with Pete Dunne. Oh, God. All right, fine. That's enough. That's enough. All right. Don't want to mark off too much. All right. Man. All right. Time to go to the news. Time to go to the news. And there was a major health scare that came down the pipe just this weekend. As reported by Jerome here yesterday, WWE Hall of Famer Road Dogg was hospitalized after suffering a heart attack. Per Tracy James, husband of Road Dogg BG James, She informed everyone, posted on the Facebook page that her husband had had a heart attack. She posted another update soon after, and this is the update. Quote, I want to thank everyone for the prayers and texts. Brian most likely suffered a heart attack late Thursday night after returning from Orlando. He has had test run, and we're currently waiting for the results. He has also seen a kidney specialist and will have a stress test done. He's also been on blood pressure meds for high BP. Just please pray all the tests come back for something we can fix. I am a total wreck, but I am trying so hard to be positive. Please pray for Brian. He feels horrible, and for God to please heal my husband so he can come home. Thank you all so much. End quote. Another quote from Tracy James, husband of Road Dogg. Quote, just an update. Doc just came in. Kidneys came back clear, and heart cath is scheduled for Monday, and they will determine that what's to be done. Please continue to pray for him and his doctors and our family. Thank y'all, and we love y'all. Yes, the wife of Tracy James. Jerome. Dog James. We will have an update on him, like Tracy said. He's going to have a stress test done on Monday. Gosh, this guy, man, such a God-fearing man. Please don't take him. Don't do this to me. 2020 was horrible. Don't do this to us on 2021. Please, not right now. I touched on this with Mike Tedesco, during our recap of Fastlane last week. And I brought up any problems that people were having with Peacock, and mine was a little bit of HD resolution, but it finally came to fruition after about 15-20 minutes. Everything was fine. But then when it comes to the WWE Network content, Peacock decided to take the axe on some things. Wrestlers have been reacting to Peacock editing some racist footage from the historical stuff of the WWE. According to a recent report by The Hollywood Reporter, NBC Universal is reviewing all 17,000 hours of content to make sure that it aligns with Peacock's S&P, standards and practices. It's also being said that the WWE is also made aware of the changes, and they will be known, but it don't matter now. WWE got their money, Peacock's got their stuff. It doesn't matter what happens now. Sorry. Hollywood Reporter notes in their report that one of the most recent edits was from WrestleMania 6, where Roddy Piper and Bad News Brown had a match. And remember Roddy Piper having the half black face? Yeah, that was edited out. Don't blame him. Peacock expects to have all WWE footage available on its streaming service by SummerSlam. By August. 5 months that we're going to have all of WWE's footage on Peacock after it's gone through a scalpel and a suture and a sponge and a clamp. Jerome, I fixed the husband to wife. I was gone all day and came back and was a bit tired. I would put up the report. I had driven. It's all good, Jerome. It's all good. Okay. First off, big props to Jerome. Okay. He's our newsman. All right. He knows I don't give him any guff at all. All right. Jerome's a godsend. All right. So you keep doing your work, and I'll tell you, you're allowed mistakes like husband and wife. That's okay. Below are tweets from professional wrestlers that are asking for requests from Peacock. For example, Brian Pillman Jr. I'm pretty sure none of my dad's WWF promos are going to make it to Peacock. Lance Storm. Hey, Peacock, if you wanted to edit out any of my dancing gimmick from 03, that'd be okay. Stevie Richards. So, Peacock is censoring and removing WWE Network content. He shows himself with right to censor. And finally, the Blue Meanie. Love me. Heffron, you're great as well. Hey, Peacock, can you edit me into some of your old Raws? Some people were angry about this. I totally understand this. I totally understand why Peacock is editing. Come on, guys. This is NBC. The same network that's going to have Friends, The Office, a lot of other major programs on there, okay? I'm sorry. Nah. Keep your eyes open for what is edited out during the Attitude Era. There's a lot of unnecessary bloodletting and asses and bitches and stuff like that. See what happens with that. Kind of curious. As we reported last week on Fastlane's recap show, WWE came to terms with the release of Andrade. And Andrade was so bold as to issue a statement on the Twitter saying, "Good news, buenas noticias, tranquilo, #happy." He would then actually issue a full statement on Twitter, albeit 15 hours later, saying, "I want to thank Triple H, Paul Heyman, and William Regal for all these years and great support that they gave me all these years. Also to the fans who are always supporting me. A big hug to all the talent and workers who always behaved kindly to me." In December of 2019, Andrade filed for trademarks on La Sombra and El Idolo. La Sombra was the name Andrade used in CMLL and New Japan. And El Idolo, he's used in his promos and is also used in his theme song. Yeah, that's pretty nice that you say, "Yay, good news, I'm out of here." Oh, wait, I better be nice to everyone so I don't burn any bridges. So, everyone who's like, "Oh, Andrade was such a great talent." Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. This tweet was done with Google Translate. He couldn't work without someone who could speak his language. Couldn't adjust. Mediocre Lewis. As long as Peacock doesn't edit out Bobby the Brain climbing over a table, I'm fine. If they touch any of my Bobby Heenan, oh, it's fucking on. Okay, I know you may have gotten only $10 of my shit, but I'm gonna do something. WWE's residency at the Tropicana Field is coming to an end this week, I believe. Here's the taping schedule for Tropicana Field and El Thunderdome. March the 29th, live taping of Raw tomorrow. Tuesday, a Raw taping for the go-home show for WrestleMania. And they're taping the Hall of Fame ceremony at the Thunderdome this Tuesday. Wednesday. No, I think that's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, SmackDown taping for Friday and the second half of the Hall of Fame ceremony. And then finally on Friday, they are taping SmackDown for the go-home show to WrestleMania next week. So right now, all of WWE's programming that they're going to do for the Thunderdome that is not live for Peacock and otherwise is being done this week at Tropicana Field. Where are they going after that? They're heading on over to the Yuengling Center, which is in Tampa. They're heading over there after next week. No, after WrestleMania. However, keep this in mind that this is going to be where they're going to do their tapings for Thunderdome tapings the next day after WrestleMania. This is going to be its third location for their legendary Raw after WrestleMania. As has been procedure for most parts since COVID-19 began, Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view programming will be held on a closed set with only essential personnel in attendance. The press release says, quote, the WWE will continue to administer its health and safety protocols for talent, crew, and employees in conjunction with each production, including PCR testing for COVID-19, social distancing, and wearing masks. This is fascinating. Okay? We are in some very, very interesting times right now when there's so many vaccines that are out. People are getting vaccinated for spiky Nerf ball. That is fucking awesome. People are still wearing masks before or after getting vaccinated. That's fucking awesome. Myself, I am cleared to get my vaccination on April the 7th and beyond. That's fucking awesome. But what's really fucking awesome, with a question mark, is with all of this stuff happening and regulations and protocol being relaxed, when will we see the WWE go back to real house shows? When's that going to happen? Here in my state of North Carolina, we are under phase 3.714.5 section 2, I don't know, where basically restaurants now can be at full capacity. Alcohol can be served. There's no curfew on it. We are not close to 100% all around, but it's a lot better than what it was. But there is still the mask mandate and the social distancing mandate. Bars can now be open here in North Carolina past 10, 11 o'clock. Which, of course, for me is fucking awesome. But with the WWE, when are they going to take that chance? Will they investigate other states and see what their protocols are? See if they can do some live shows. Sure, they can't be in indoor arenas. If they did them in indoor arenas, it might be at 30% capacity. I'm not sure. But they could do them in outdoor arenas. Find a minor league baseball field. It's an idea. Right now, states are relaxing protocol. And AEW is taking advantage of that because their first ever house show post Spiky Nerf Ball is going to be next Friday in Jacksonville. Tickets are going to go on sale this Friday at 9 a.m. for $20. Fans also purchase tickets for Dynamite on April the 7th and the house show for $40. AEW is going to jump the gun. Well, I mean, they have every right to. They've been at the same arena for so long. They don't have to move. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars facility. They aren't going to be using that until August, September. AEW is in a great place when it comes to the pandemic, but they are not in a good place product-wise. Going to be interesting. These are going to be very, 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 very interesting times to see if the WWE opts to get back into touring, which will help their product. I'm not saying that live audiences are their problem. I'm just saying test audiences are their problem. The lack thereof is a problem. The WWE product has been shit for the past year because they never had test audiences. They may try it out in 2 or 3 months. We'll see. After the bulk of the population has been vaccinated, how the hell will we know that? Then it may happen. By the way, AEW has announced what matches they're going to have at their house show next Friday, April the 9th. What are they going to be? Mike and Matt Sydal versus Michael Nakazawa and Kenny Omega. I only know Kenny Omega. TNT title match, Darby Allin defending against somebody. The Death Triangle of Pac, Ray Phoenix, and Penta versus Brandon Coulter and the AEW Tag Team Champ Young Bucks. That's going to be full of flippy, dippy, little critter assery. And also Britt Baker, Jade Cargill, Orange Cassidy, and The Pinnacle are going to be there too. So there you go. Make your plans accordingly. Hall of Fame inductions for the class of 2021 by the WWE, and everyone was laughing and making fun and saying he doesn't deserve to be there, yada, yada, yada. No, I ain't talking about Kane. I'm talking about the Great Khali. I don't want to hear shit from anybody about why the Great Khali does not deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Nah. Nuh-uh. It is this man that has brought so much money to the WWE, you have no idea. He has brought more money than John Cena ever has. Said it. You better agree with it. I will show you the financials. Okay? I will show you the financials. WWE's biggest global market is not the United States. It is India. Has been for nearly 20 years. And it's because of this man. And before that, his appearance on the movie The Longest Yard, which was jointly produced by the WWE. He came in and brought the WWE billions of dollars. This man kept the WWE global and solvent. You want me to bring up a memory of the Great Khali? And Doug, I know you're saying, Doug, well, yeah, that's what he's done financially, but he didn't do shit in the ring. Watch his debuting and chopping The Undertaker in the noggin. Sold. Yes, Punjabi prison matches were stupid. Yes, his little thing he did with Beth Phoenix was stupid. But by God, his match with John Cena, shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. This man was great. He did wonders for the company. Wonders for professional wrestling as well. Because now you have the physical stature. If you're over 7 feet, this is what you got to look like. This is how you got to keep yourself up. Khali is a bodybuilder by nature. He has kept his body fit and trim all years and decades of his life. For his own health's sake, too. You're over 7 feet, you want to look like the Great Khali. You don't want to look like the Big Show. Where the Big Show has to take off 9 months after every 2 years to work out, trim down his diet. Nah. Take pointers from this guy. And yes, Glenn Jacobs, Kane, was also inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2021. Yeah, no brainer. I'm not going to complain about that one. I'll never forget running into him at a Cracker Barrel here in Charlotte back in '98. Almost, I ran smack into him exiting the men's room. And I think I've told that story where I met him, John Tenta, Vader, and a very young Edge who just started with the WWE at that Cracker Barrel. Yeah, one of the good ones. Yeah, you're never going to see. No. You're never going to see me. No. Consummate professional wrestler. Consummate professional wrestler is Kane. And there's reporting, though, that some guy who's not necessarily a consummate professional wrestler, Rob Van Dam, is going to be inducted as well. We've seen the tweets from Paul Heyman's Twitter account confirming this one practically. This one I want to question. I've never, ever questioned WWE selections for their Hall of Fame. I never have. Never, ever have. This is my first one. This is the first time that I'm going to question it. He sure as hell didn't bring in the amount of money that the great Khali did. I totally get the arguments of, well, Doug, they've got Antonio Inoki in there. They got Mil Mascaras in there. They've got performers that weren't in the WWE as a whole throughout their career, and they're in the Hall of Fame. Well, yeah, because that was their role in professional wrestling. That's how important they were to professional wrestling. Rob Van Dam, though, is not that. He is not... No, he is not anyone. Look through the Hall of Fame, and I'm sorry. He doesn't match up to anyone in the Hall of Fame. None. And that's what strikes me the most, and Daniel kind of brings it up there, is we really only remember him for his stuff in ECW, right? I mean, he didn't do anything abroad. Crash in the chat room going, wee! He didn't do anything internationally. He's in the WWF, WWE. I mean, he had good matches, but I'm questioning this one. Here's something for you. Who would you induct into the Hall of Fame of the WWE first? And I'm going by these standards. Who would you induct first? Rob Van Dam or Too Cold Scorpio? Rob Van Dam or Tommy Dreamer? I'm going by ECW here. That's why they're putting him in here, okay? Rob Van Dam or Taz? Well, you're not going to do Taz. He's over at AEW. Totally get that. Rob Van Dam or Sandman? Rob Van Dam or Sabu? Here's the big one. No. Here's the big one. Okay? Who are you putting in the WWE Hall of Fame first? Rob Van Dam or Mike Awesome? Mike Awesome's been everywhere. He was everywhere. Poor guy. He was in WCW for a hiccup. Went to FMW. Made a name in Japan doing a lot of hardcore matches known as the Gladiator. But made his name in ECW. Did Mike Awesome. Jamel, fuck no. Sandman goes in no one's Hall of Fame. That just pissed me off. I'm sorry. But here's the thing. This is why this pick, that's why I'm so apprehensive about this pick, is because it's ECW. Can we leave ECW alone? Can we stop it? Tired of ECW. I'm old now. I'm more mature. You've got a more mature audience also. And you've got a brand new audience that you're trying to introduce into your fold amidst the pandemic. I'm glad we haven't seen any mention of ECW in any fucking Legends nights that you've ever had, WWE. I question this. I'm not a fan of this. I'd rather have Tommy Dreamer than Rob Van Dam. Some chick named Red Velvet that loves doing this shit is in AEW. I don't know. I'm sorry, she's been wrestling, I know, there for a while, but you just signed Jade Cargill, so I'm sorry. This is Jade Cargill Light. I don't know what this is. I don't get it. On the sad front, AEW star Cesar Bononi had a shit of a match against Luchasaurus on AEW Dark. Check out my Twitter. That's what that GIF is from. Yes, Terry Funk is in the Hall of Fame, Goose. Cesar Bononi went on the Twitter to ask fans for help with his wife's leukemia. Bononi noted that his sister-in-law is a match donor for his wife's leukemia treatment and further stated that they are having issues getting bone marrow to the U.S. before April the 1st, which is the date that his wife needs the transplant done. Drake Maverick would respond to his tweet with, "Please check your DMs." It's kind of sad, you know? You know what's even more sad is when TNT is trying desperately to be USA and taking advantage of professional wrestlers to do it. Cody and Brandy Rhodes are releasing a reality TV series for the TNT called Rhodes to the Top. This is an unscripted series that's going to look inside the lives of Cody and Brandy as they navigate through Brandy having a tiny human in her tum-tum and Cody having the longest entrance in professional wrestling and within his company. And TNT is hard up on programming. TNT is going to go under in 5 years. And I'm not saying that because of Impact in the past. TNT has no programming at all. None. TNT is going to go down really hard with the advent of streaming services and the like. Let's jump on over to the injury report. Yep, this one comes as a shock. This one comes as a shock to people who loved after seeing all of the reports last week of Andrade being given the axe. Oh, what's Charlotte going to be doing? She hasn't been on TV in a while. Oh, I bet she's angry. I bet she's throwing fits. Oh, I bet she's leaving. Oh, I know she's filming a TV movie, but after that, she's going to be gone. She has spiky Nerf ball. You going to question that? Via Twitter, Charlotte Flair went on there saying, last Monday, "I know everyone has been wondering where I have been. I tested positive for COVID and have been home resting. Thank you, everyone, for your love." Or you've been filming a movie. One of the two. This is where it gets a little dicey when you're using a global pandemic as an excuse. Just say you're filming a movie. If you're filming a movie, just film it. Say you're filming a movie. That's okay. Don't use the global pandemic as an excuse. But this is what I have to go with. And this is what the WWE has acknowledged, filling up the Horn of Triumph. Ah! Spilled it on my mat. That's okay. We're okay. It's okay. It's okay. No need to cry. Don't need to cry. Didn't get on my keyboard. That's okay. The keys are sticky anyway. So yeah, Charlotte Flair's got the COVID. Everyone else that's on the injury list on the DM report. A DM report? No, it's the IR report. What it is, who's on the IR. Becky Lynch, the tiny human was extracted from her tom-tom. She is busy trying to get back into ring shape. She should be back post-Wrestlemania. I don't know why they're holding off on her, but I got a feeling post-Mania is what it's looking like. Ivar, clavicle injury, potential neck stinger. If his career is not over, he will be back in time for SummerSlam of this year. Tiny Noodle in the chat room. Whee! Lacey Evans has a tiny human in her tom-tom. She's not going to be back until Royal Rumble times of next year. Charlotte Flair says she has the COVID. She's going to be under quarantine. Is she going to be back in time for WrestleMania? Probably not. I don't see her coming back actually until the end of April. Chelsea Green with a broken wrist has been cleared and everything from her injury. She should have been back by now, but we're in WrestleMania time, so we're not going to reintroduce her onto the SmackDown roster because she might fall off the apron and use her left wrist to break her fall again. Tegan Knox torn her ACL for the third time. If her career is not over, she'll be back in time for SummerSlam. Ridge Holland ruptured his patella on live TV. He won't be back in time for SummerSlam until SummerSlam. Arturo Ruas with a torn rotator cuff. He is all good to go. We just don't know where the heck he is. Bobo Fish with a torn tricep. He won't be back in time until the SummerSlams. He has been under injury for 18 months in the past 3 years that he's been under contract. Casey Catanzaro with a torn LCL. She won't be back until about October. Finally, Danny Burch, who dislocated his shoulder a couple of Wednesdays ago on live television. Him and Lorcan forced to relinquish the NXT Tag Team titles. He is not going to be back on television until June. So, those are the people that are hurt. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who haven't been on television, WWE, or pay-per-view, or otherwise for, say, 3 weeks? Gil saying that Casey has been medically cleared on NXT. Oh, okie doke, that's cool. What about all those other people? They end up on a very special list. List of my own design. A list that continues to grow as others leave. For every one that leaves, another two appear. Andrade is officially off the milk carton because he is no longer getting a paycheck. You know, these are happy times. This is the best time. This is the only time that you actually pay attention to this goddamn show. Turn your head if you're squeamish. Brace for impact. It's the WWE milk carton. Oh, 20 hours of WWE television in a couple of weeks. Kill me. That's how much it is. That's how much it is. Brace yourselves, people. It's going to be a rough week. Let's start things off with, on the SmackDown side here, Liv Morgan and Wwe Wyatt. Hey, where are you going? I want to stay back there. No, Milky, you come back. Liv Morgan and Wwe Wyatt. We haven't seen them since the February 26th episode of SmackDown, where they Liv Morgan faced off against Tamina and Wwe Wyatt was at ringside. And this was involving the whole Billy Kay thing, but this time Billy Kay wasn't there. Didn't seem to go well. Here's one thing I will bring up. I really have not seen a whole lot of Liv Morgan on the Twitter showing off little pictures of herself. This isn't looking good. Killian Dane, haven't seen him since the February 24th episode of NXT, where he teamed up with Drake Maverick to face off against the grizzled young veterans during the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic thingy. I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was the Tag Team Classic thingy. Drake Maverick was asking questions around Imperium last week about where's Killian Dane. They didn't know. I'd like to know too. Malcolm Bivens, haven't seen him since that same episode of NXT on February the 24th, where he was at ringside when his boy Tyler Rust faced off against Rough and Rust. Tyson Ruff, Tyler Rust, Leon Ruff, Tyler Rust. You're going to do Mediocre Lewis wants Sounders. All right, I'll give you Sounders. You just study that question. Hey, you go to journalism for that. All right, I got you Sounders. Yeah, Malcolm Bivens hasn't been on TV since Lord knows when. Angel Garza, haven't seen him since the February 22nd episode of Monday Night Raw, where he faced off against Damian Priest to further the storyline of Bad Bunny and The Miz. Billie Kay, haven't seen her since the February 19th episode of SmackDown, where she was at ringside when the Wyatt Squad faced off against Natalya and Tamina in a tag team match. She's been backstage doing other stuff, but not on WWE television. She is still a focus on the WWE, but not on television or pay-per-view. Keith Lee. Haven't seen him since February the 8th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he faced off against Riddle. He recently went on Twitter thanking everyone for their high hopes and stuff. He was one of the ones that, I tell ya, he may be leaving Sierra. Yeah, I know I just saw Billie Kay. Yeah. I went past Billie. Yeah, I know. Hey, Kayla! I've got a feeling Keith Lee may be leaving us soon. Yeah. I brought him up a couple of weeks ago talking about the spring cleaning of the WWE that might be happening. Keith Lee's one of them. I don't like saying it, but Nikki Cross, haven't seen her since the February 1st episode of Monday Night Raw, where she faced off against Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross faced off against Alexa Bliss on the February 1st episode of Monday Night Raw to further the character of Alexa Bliss. I think that worked. Inductees, haven't seen them since the January 26th Superstar Spectacular Glasses. We saw them on the special for India Television on January the 26th. They were part of a 6-man tag, and Jinder Mahal was part of their team too. We need to get an update to WWE's main roster so that all three of these can just be taken off the main roster. God, this makes me sad. Every time this guy shows up, I get sad. Every time I get sad. Tucker. Haven't seen him since the January 25th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was chasing after the 24/7 title and going through MVP's VIP lounge. God, this makes me sad. This sucks. Feel more sorry for him than I do Keith Lee. Wesley Blake. Haven't seen him since the January 1st episode of SmackDown, where he was part of the Knights of the Lone Wolf with him and Cutler, James Cutler. They were the minions of King Corbin. And they were at ringside as Big E and Apollo Crews faced off against Sami Zayn and Karen Corbin. Since then, James Cutler was released from the company for contracting COVID for attending a New Year's Eve party. Jackson Riker of the Forgotten Sons fame of Wesley Blake, James Cutler, and Jackson Riker. Jackson Riker is now enjoying time sporadically alongside Elias on Monday Night Raw. Wesley Blake ain't doing shit. Kalisto, haven't seen him since that same episode of SmackDown on January 1st, where, I shit you not, he was just leaning against the wall as Sonya Deville walked by introducing herself back onto the WWE's main roster. Kalisto has not done a damn thing except lean against a wall. It's another guy you'll see go. Eric of the Viking Raiders fame, though I would prefer their team name to be Dreadnought. Eric, haven't seen him since the December 28th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was chasing after the 24/7 title. Velveteen Dream. Haven't seen him since the December 23rd episode of NXT, where he was legitimately buried by Adam Cole. Haven't seen him since then. Legitimately buried. That is called a burial, ladies and gentlemen. LA Knight has not gotten a burial yet. That's a burial. Jimmy Uso, haven't seen him since the November 22nd Survivor Series, where he was outside of Roman Reigns' locker room and talking about Jey Uso and going, "Hey man, what the fuck? What happened? What is happening? We've been anticipating you to show up for the past 3 months. The hell are you?" Aleister Black. Haven't seen him since the October 12th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he had a match against Kevin Owens, and then the draft happened, and he was drafted to SmackDown, but he has yet to appear on television since then. Why isn't he on television? I don't know. It might be because his wife, Zelina Vega, also known as Taya Trinidad, I will try not to say her name so much. She was released about a few months ago because she decided she wanted to open up an OnlyFans account to make $5 a pop to dress up like a sexy character from Mortal Kombat. Aleister Black is going to see he's gone. People are thinking he's going to be repackaged or something like that. I've seen reports saying that it's confirmed that he's going to be repackaged, not on Wrestleview. Not on Wrestleview. We got Damian Priest for this. You're right, Andrew. Marina Shafir. Haven't seen her since the September 23rd of last year's episode of NXT, where she took part in a battle royale of the Vagina Persuasion to figure out the number one contender for the NXT Women's title. Candice LeRae won that and faced off against Io Shirai. Oh, fuck, where are these guys at? Riddick Moss, haven't seen him since the September 21st episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was locked underground and faced off against Arturo Ruas and thought he was a fucking cage fighter. Dabba-Kato was down there too. He thought he was a cage fighter and tried stepping up to Braun Strowman, who thought he was a cage fighter. Braun Strowman's dressed up as a cage fighter right now and is feuding over Shane McMahon because Shane is calling him stupid. It might be because Braun is trying to get back underground, but that sucker's been sealed up since October. We haven't seen them since then. They were both drafted to Raw. Where are they? I didn't mean to have that guttural of a "where are they?" Jessamine Duke, everything I just said previously, except she hasn't been on TV since September the 7th on Monday Night Raw. What has she been doing? She's been playing video games on WWE's dime. Finally, the stalwart of the WWE milk carton. It's going to be a little bit. It's going to be less than 3 months until we christen our sixth Golden Gallon. It's going to be a while, but it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. I want to interview him when this happens. I have got to interview him. But man, I know I'm going to be fucking hyped because Mojo Rawley is the stalwart of the WWE milk carton. We haven't seen him since the June 19th episode of SmackDown, where he faced off against Shorty G to try to make Shorty G a thing. Shorty G is now known as Chad Gable. And this is the third repackaging of Chad Gable. And apparently that didn't work when he was Shorty G, and Mojo didn't do his job. Gronkowski is not going to be at WrestleMania, so why the hell do we have Mojo Rawley? I don't know. It's going to be a while. I'm hyped. You should be hyped. Yes, the sources are kicking in. But the sources need to kick in for the milk carton and also need to kick in for the history lesson that I'm about to give you guys. But before then, who else is going to be due up on the milk carton here? Let me look on my database. No, he's going to show up at WrestleMania. He might show up on NXT. There are some names that I'm wondering about. Not many, but I'm wondering about. And there is one name that's on there that I'm really wondering she might be injured. I mean, she's been doing some stuff on WWE, but not much. We'll find out. She might be taking a break. Who knows? But that's a WWE milk carton right there. All right. What, Quentin, you're bowing out. Whee! Yes, please like and subscribe because, why not? It's something to do. All right. 2 weeks from now is the WrestleMania. WrestleMania week. Why is it WrestleMania week? I don't know. Did I adjust these graphics correctly? I don't know. I decided to have some bourbon before I finished my show. Did I get the graphics right? No, I did not. We are not talking about Fastlane. Oh, well. Oh, well. It's one thing. One thing that I miss. It's okay. Who do you think I am? Adam? No, I'm not. All right. Next, in 2 weeks, is WrestleMania. Not just WrestleMania, the event, but WrestleMania week. What is this WrestleMania week? What do you mean by week? Oh. WrestleMania week. On Monday, April 5th, we've got Monday Night Raw. Then Tuesday, we have the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies of last year and this year's class. Remember, last year we didn't get that because of Spiky Nerf Ball. Stand and Deliver of NXT is going to be on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday on the USA Network, Thursday on the Peacock. Friday night SmackDown, April the 9th, and then 2 nights of WrestleMania, Saturday and Sunday. Do the math with me. 3 hours of Raw, 3 hours of Hall of Fame, 2 hours a piece of Stand and Deliver. It's 10. SmackDown, a 2-hour show, makes 12. And then WrestleMania for 2 nights, 1 and 2, could be at most 4 apiece. We're looking at almost 20 hours of WWE programming. Right here. And this is the week. Now, if you thought it was going to extend past that, we've got Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania for another 3 hours. So it is ensured to be 20 hours plus. How did we get to this? How did we get to WrestleMania being just a one-day thing and now is turned into this? Can you stomach that? 20 hours of ice cream? I don't know if I can. I'll be honest, I'll probably forego the Hall of Fame ceremony. I really don't pay attention to the Hall of Fame ceremonies. Even though 2 years ago, some Yahoo jumped the stage to go after Bret Hart, which was stupid. Mediocre Lewis, are you going to review NWA Power when it comes back? Oh, you're goddamn right. I'm going to give them their credit where it's due. But this is just WWE content. Professional wrestling in general, it's got to be 25, 27 hours. Ugh. So, how did we get to this? How did it get to this point? Well, you wouldn't think this, and I really some people know me. I can be a political guy, and I don't like bringing politics where it's not warranted, because I know it's a very divisive topic. Okay. But this all started with Donald Trump. I know what you're saying is, oh, here we go. God damn it, Doug. Every liberal is blaming everything on Donald Trump, just like they did 15 years ago and 20 years ago, blaming everything on W. No. There's no blame. There is no blame on this. This is factual record. How did we get from WrestleMania being a one-night thing to WrestleMania being a week long? It starts seriously with Donald Trump. Let's start with WrestleMania 4. The very first pay-per-view I ever bought was WrestleMania 4 as a family. And I remember us buying this pay-per-view. We just moved from a small, less than 1,200 square foot home in Cleveland to a larger multi-level home just a little bit down the road. And we invited a bunch of families over, and our moving was happening while WrestleMania 4 was about to happen. So we ordered WrestleMania 4 and had a bunch of families, bunch of my friends over, and we had this show going on. I remember this show vividly, okay? WrestleMania 4 is where this started. WrestleMania 4 was invested by Donald Trump. Here is Boardwalk Hall. I think it's also known as the Historic Amphitheater of Atlantic City or something like that. I'm not sure. But this is where WrestleMania 4 was held. And also, to go backtrack a little bit, WrestleMania 4 was the longest WrestleMania at that time. 4 hours long. Started at 8 o'clock. It went to midnight. Imagine me, 8 years old, staying up till midnight watching this stuff. We didn't stay in front of the TV watching this stuff, man. The husbands and wives were barbecuing outside. We were playing outside and going back and forth and watching what was happening on the TV and everything else. But again, this is where it was held, at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. This is also where it would be, where WrestleMania 5 would be held. First ever time that WrestleMania for 2 years straight would be held at the same arena. Doug, you mentioned Donald Trump. Why'd you mention Donald Trump? Well, it's because, and here's WrestleMania 4 right here within Boardwalk Hall. Reason I bring up Donald Trump is because he was an investor in the WWE back in 88 and 89. And across the street from Boardwalk Hall was Trump Hotel and Casino, Trump Atlantic City. And at WrestleMania 4 was the very first fan access, not AXSESS, but fan access, where the morning of WrestleMania, they had brunch, they had the superstars giving signings. They had a 5K. They ran a 5K before the show. They held their first ever fan access. Was that? They did the same thing with WrestleMania 5 across the street. Oh, by the way, WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 3 had an attendance of over 90,000. WrestleMania 4, less than 16,000 for the next 2 years. And let me backtrack a little bit. But it was WrestleMania 4. Every year after that, they would continue to have these fan-centric events where, super performers would sign autographs, merchandise sales. A brunch was the big one, doing a brunch at a hotel or something like that. But this carried on from 89 beyond. Every every WrestleMania day, there was a fan access of some kind. Then came WrestleMania 2000. At WrestleMania 2000, they have what they called their quote-unquote WrestleMania Access, A-X-S-E-S-S, where it was held at a convention hall a little ways away from the arena that WrestleMania was being held. But it was no longer the intimate appearance of within a hotel or a lobby of some kind. Just like TNA did this in Daytona Beach when I showed up for Bound for Glory way back when. WrestleMania fan access then became kind of a whole day thing. It became a whole day thing and was held at a convention hall. They took over a convention center. So, yeah, we're going to get higher tickets on that. We're going to get a bigger gate on that. Here at WrestleMania 2000, or actually, no, this is WrestleMania X8, you're looking at a clip of Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon dancing as Isaac Hayes performs salty chocolate balls, at the WrestleMania Rage Party at WrestleMania X8. It was at 2002 in Toronto. I know this is weird to segue and everything, but this was the final time that this became a one-day thing. I mean, I'm sorry, this was during WrestleMania 2000. This was WrestleMania 2000 is when that happened, the Rage Party. Because the big thing about that WrestleMania Rage Party, or Isaac Hayes and Big Pun held a 1-hour show on the USA Network, was because this would let everyone know that other stuff happened outside of WrestleMania, the event. 99, Jamel says. Yeah, 99. Yeah. So, yeah. WrestleMania Access with the WrestleMania Rage Party 1-hour special on the USA Network would then go to WrestleMania X8, Toronto, 2002, where WrestleMania Access changed from being a one-day thing the day prior to WrestleMania at a convention center to being 3 days long. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning leading up to WrestleMania Sunday. This is where WWE Access was born in 2002. Doug, what are you talking about? What does this have to do with the WrestleMania week and the 20 hours of programming you're bitching about that's going to happen 2 weeks from now? WrestleMania's programming starts at the location that it's at. And it's not just what's being televised, it's what's being done live for everyone to attend. This is where it started. And Donald Trump started it, trying to get people to go to his hotel and casino in Atlantic City to have conventions of WWE performers there. That's where it started. This is how it started. Turning WrestleMania in from some regular professional wrestling show into more of a convention. And now it is completely a convention. Since 2002 in Toronto with WrestleMania X8, WrestleMania Access has been a 3-day-long event going into WrestleMania Sunday night. This has been a tradition. Been that way for a long time. But there's another tradition that taps into the 20-hour programming that I wonder what happened. Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame. The WWE Hall of Fame deserves a lot of discussion, not just the people that are in it, but why it's going on. and the frequency that it's going on. What's going on with the WWE Hall of Fame? Totally understand that you're giving credit to those who have paved the way for those that are performing right now. But in 1993, Andre the Giant was the first Hall of Fame inductee, but they never had a ceremony. So from 94, 95, and 96, they would have inductees, and they'd have a ceremony, and it would be done at hotels. Like, it would be done at the Omni in Baltimore in 94. It would be at the Marriott in Philadelphia in 95. It'd be at the Marriott Marquis in New York City in 96. And I liked that. Those Hall of Fame ceremonies were very romantic, you know? Those were great. Who are the Hall of Fame inductees for 1997 or 98? Go ahead and look it up. It won't take long. Who were the WWE Hall of Fame inductees for 97 and 98? Here's your answer. There were none. The WWE Hall of Fame after 96 had no inductees. In fact, they didn't have any inductees for another 8 years. It wouldn't be until 2004 that they would have a Hall of Fame induction ceremony of some kind. They would have inductees, but they had an induction ceremony. This was the famous one that I love the most with Bobby the Brain Heenan. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we waited 8 years for Hall of Fame inductees. Why was this? Why did they wait 8 years? Couldn't they just continue having inductees and going to hotel convention halls and convention rooms and giving credit where credit is due? Why did they wait so long? The WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony of 2004 was exclusively released on DVD. It was never televised. You can watch it now on the WWE Network and Peacock. But it was exclusively on DVD. After that, here we are at the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony of 2005 at the Universal Amphitheater in Anaheim, California. This is when Hulk Hogan was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. This would also be the first time that the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony was televised, albeit for a condensed 1 hour. It would be soon after this that the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony would either be condensed to a 1 or 2 hour television program, or then broadcasted live for 2 or 3 hours on the USA Network, and then inevitably be shown live altogether on the WWE Network. So now we have another event for WrestleMania. We have another event to put for WrestleMania. Another way to get gate receipts. We got it with fan access now. Instead of just being over at Trump's Hotel and Casino, we're now opening up convention centers for a weekend long to get your money to go ahead and come on into our place. We've got a Hall of Fame ceremony that's going on Saturday before WrestleMania. Don't you want to attend that thing? There's some more money out of your pocket coming to me. So now we've turned WrestleMania into a WrestleMania weekend. By 2013, this has been going on for 8 years. From 05 to 13, WrestleMania weekend. Access, Hall of Fame on Saturday, WrestleMania on Sunday. Still not enough. It's still not enough for you. You need more wrestling. guys that are not on the WWE roster, guys that are under the radar, guys that have been signed up from other federations that we've been doing as Florida Championship Wrestling for so long. No, this is not the show where we tried to have people compete to be a WWE performer. This is NXT, the incarnation that you know now. NXT's very first pay-per-view was NXT Arrival, February the 27th, 2014. This was the first pay-per-view on the WWE Network. Look at that. Pac versus that grinning Bo Dallas for the NXT title. It's a ladder match, too. I'm bringing this up because it's NXT that's taking part in this, too. Within its evolution within the WWE, it begins doing house shows. It starts touring. It starts making money with gate receipts. NXT Takeover Dallas 2016 runs alongside Wrestlemania in Dallas back in 2016. This would air on Friday over WrestleMania weekend. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for the NXT title. Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. Shinsuke Nakamura debuting on NXT versus Sami Zayn. Bayley versus Asuka for Bayley's NXT Women's title. So now we have turned NXT into a money grabber for WrestleMania weekend. We had NXT on Friday. And then Saturday was the Hall of Fame weekend and Hall of Fame. And then Sunday was WrestleMania. And then this asshole showed up. NXT would then switch to Saturdays and the Hall of Fame ceremony would be on Fridays. And so we had a WrestleMania weekend. But then this guy showed up. Put all touring, public gathering, and everything that you considered fun or annoying to a standstill. It's because of COVID that WrestleMania and the WWE and professional wrestling in general have been localized, have been shackled. They're not touring anymore. Staying in one place. And albeit in time, we can have some people attend these events if we want them to, gradually. But it's because of COVID, strangling and choking and isolating professional wrestling as a whole to keep them all in Florida because Governor DeSantis says, fuck the people. It's because of the spiky Nerf ball that WrestleMania has become a WrestleMania week with pre-tapings happening within the Thunderdome, and to have all of that programming lined up 2 weeks from now. And they're going to be moving to a new location on near the campus of University of South Florida in Tampa at the Yuengling Center to get all of this set up. Right now, Tropicana is only going to be holding Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday of 2 weeks from now. But because of COVID, would we have 2 days of NXT? Would we have 2 days of WrestleMania? Would we have all of these programs in Florida? It is kind of sad, and I don't mean to bring it up and everything, but if it weren't for the pandemic and our previous president, we wouldn't have to try and digest over 20 hours of professional wrestling. Well, that's a bummer to end on. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I had a lot of fun researching how we went from 1 day to a weekend to a full week. I really didn't think it I really didn't think it would take me all the way back to my very first pay-per-view. I totally didn't realize that. But that's how it is. Programming notes. So, next Sunday is Easter. I'm not going to shit on Jesus' death and resurrection so that you all can watch me talk about wrestling. Instead, we're going to switch things up a little bit. Next Saturday is going to be Wrestleview Weekly, 5 o'clock next Saturday. I'm going to be here. You better be here because it is a prediction show. A prediction show and a half. Next Saturday, right here, we're predicting all of WrestleMania week. All of Stand and Deliver, all of WrestleMania. How many locks? I have no freaking clue. But next Saturday, stop by here. It is the biggest prediction show I've ever done. I will probably bypass the top 5 lackeys list to do these predictions because, man, there's going to be a lot. I think we're predicting like 20 matches or something like that. So next Saturday, right here, prediction show for WrestleMania week. On WrestleMania week! Saturday and Sunday following WrestleMania, Mike Tedesco, the effervescent one, and myself will recap WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. You've got Rob. He's going to be covering the post-SmackDown, the go-home show for SmackDown on that Friday. Mikey Tedesco and Queen Victoria will always be covering post-Raw. You know what we're missing? We need a watch-along. You guys want to do a watch-along? How about we do a watch-along? How about you guys stop on by Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, night 2, Stand and Deliver. Wait a minute. Let me look at something real quick. Night 2, Stand and Deliver. What are the matches? NXT Takeover Night 2, but it's... What are the matches? What are the matches on Night 2? What are they? Damn it! Show me what they are! There we go. There's the lineups. Where's my lineups? Night 2. Fonz Balor versus Karrion Kross, Escobar Devlin in the ladder match for the Little Critter title, and Johnny Gargano facing somebody. We don't know. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. Watch along. Night 2. Watch along night 2. It's just going to be 3 matches. It won't last long. You guys will survive. You'll be fine. So, yeah, that's our programming. Next Saturday, mega prediction show, WrestleMania week. Watch along for night 2. Recaps on Saturday and Sunday, and recaps on Raw and SmackDown as they see fit. I am Doug. Thank you all so much for stopping by. The Horn of Triumph is getting empty. I may fill up. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Ugh. Wear a mask. Don't be an asshole. Think of others before yourself. And as always, for the love of God, now more than ever, it's all over the internet, guys. Take a breather from being on social media. You deserve it, okay? You don't need to pay attention to everything that's happening all the time. You don't need the dopamine rush. Just stay away from the internet on occasion, except when watching my show. Because I'm one of the good ones. Know when you're being sold to.